Friends, 1128 days of war between Russia and Ukraine. In southern war zone in Zaporizhia Oblast, fight is on towards Kamyansky Orikho sector and counterattacks from both the sides on Lobkov Stepov, that is Stepnoe, up to Mali Sherbaki direction. Russians made gains here in Lobkov and Sherbaki direction. Fight is also on towards Novoandrivka. Russians have entered Vilne Pole, which, as per some informations, it has already been taken over by it and advancing towards Shevchenko now. Positional battle on towards Rabotino, Malaya Tok, Machka area. In short, Zaporizhia front is live and positions are being changed now. Coming to east on Kurakho sector from southern Konstantinopel, Russians have advanced towards Rozliv almost 1.5 kilometer. In Pokrovsk sector towards Grodovskaya, Russians have taken over maximum part of Pantelimonivka, which is south of Sukhabalka. Fight is also on near Novoalexandrivka. In Torres sector, the Ukrainians who started major counter-attacks 2 weeks earlier have lost initiative. Nonetheless, they are still holding 10% of Toretsk, and on many fronts situation or battle line is fluid. Russians advanced almost a kilometers towards the Livka, while Ukrainians forced Russians to retreat in Novospassky and Sherebinovka directions. Chasiv, Russians have crossed Siversky Donetsk Canal in multiple areas towards Konstantinovka. Coming to northeast Ukraine towards Lyman Crimea direction, Russians advanced on the western bank of Zerbets rivers almost 2 kilometers and bypassed Kolodezi in south after it took over Mirnoe. Here the bridgehead, the Russians have expanded almost 11 kilometers and after taking over Mirnoe, Novolyubovka and 5 kilometers deep. Lyman is 10 kilometers from here. In Kupian sector towards Davorikna bridgehead, the positional battle on where Russians are trying to extend their control zone slowly but positively. No changes in Volchansk and Lipsy direction. Now coming to Kursk, Sumy, Belgorod, Russians have made gains in northern Guyevo and west of Melovoe. In Belgorod Oblast, Ukrainians tried to penetrate from Krasnoyaruzhsky district directions, however they failed. It is on in Demidovka and Popovka areas. Interdiction missions are on. Russians have struck Kharkiv, Sumy, Dnipro, while Ukrainians continue their drone attacks in various parts of Russia, especially Belgorod. And in last 24 hours, I have not heard any of energy sector being hit by each other. In Syria, low-level massacre continues in Syrian coast. There are also silent wars going on in Homs, Hama, Idlib, Damascus, Aleppo, Deir ez-Zor between various militant factions. The tensions are on and even taking a warlike situation between minorities, which are Christians, Alawites, Sunnis, and STS. Tension is also between Druze militia and others in southern Syria, and fight is against STS, where Druze militia may be taking help even from Israel. Situation in Gaza Strip, southern Lebanon, West Bank continues as before, and Houthis are continuing their obstinate strikes against American ships, and Israeli military installments. In Turkey, mass protest is continuing since a week or even more in support of Istanbul Mayor Imamoglu. And as far as AKP and its president Erdogan are concerned, their popularity rate is going down. Chances of this mass movement turning into a revolutionary one is very low. Nonetheless, we'll have to see if Erdogan gives in or it takes a massacre of the opposition parties and their leaders. There is information that South Korean private companies, with the help of their governments in 1950 or say after the Korean War, have been exporting children to Europe for money. Number has crossed 170,000, and the last investigation found that out of 156 of them are in bad shape, facing human right violation and being taken care worse than the puppets like dogs. Still, there will be pro capitalist workers, especially those who are being paid heavily, will say that capitalism is the best system human being has ever evolved and there is not likely to be any change in that. Well, that's all for the day, friends. See you tomorrow. Thank you.